This long shot here, this reminds me of the late 1970s BBC series, The Secret Army. Right, this is in Ashford in Kent, southeast England. We're currently experiencing Storm Dara, but we're only on the edge of it. A few of these plots here, these are full plots, but nowadays you can only get a half plot, and that's what I've got further down. It's Saturday 7th of December. Normally I'd be working at a shopping centre, but I'm ill at the moment with a cough and a cold. I've also got heart failure, so I'm having a lung infection. I don't cope with hard work very well with the heart failure. So this is a Nepalese allotment here. Mine's just up here. I'm going to cut this grass at some stage so I can have the grass cut off. I've had this plot for 2 years. I did lots of work in the first year, but the second year I didn't do very much, and then I started again in September. So it's just this little square here. Right. All around the edge I've got about 240, 250 tulips. Currently that's my recently was there, but I've moved it. That's my alfresco dining area. Those are the remains of Jerusalem artichoke stems. Right, I said I was ill and I'm just about to cough. This little area here, I've already planted this with Jerusalem artichokes for next year, and it's got about 3 or 4 inches of compost on top. And I'm now going to put my other stuff here because the artichokes they won't be above ground until I think late April or so. Right, so recently we've been having lots of wood chip deliveries to this allotment, and so it's been a lot more busier than usual. So just 2 or 3 of us walking down here with our wheelbarrows has made a mess of this. But as the wood chips have now run out, hopefully this grass path will recover a bit over the next few weeks. So in this bed here I've got 2 double rows of broad beans. On the left I've got aqua dolce, and on the right I've got grano violetta winter hardy. Here I've got onions and shallots, and I'm planning to get some more shop bought shallots. You know, the Lidl normally do Italian shallots at 19p a bag or 15p a bag at Christmas. These aren't irradiated, so they should grow. Well, that's my experience from last year anyway. I only just finished clearing and digging this area yesterday. So this is all the bindweed that I was shocked it was so much bindweed. How long it was like underneath where the compost heap had been. And you can see there, that's not dog poop, that's just like the natural clay soil. So this allotment, it used to be sheep pasture, and it would be sheep pasture because it was clay soil and too heavy to plough. So when there's heavy rains here we get flooded a little bit. some of my raspberries and gooseberries, I moved them from there to over here, and then I gave up, so I was going to move these as well. So these might still have bindweed underneath them. So I've now got 2 fruit beds instead of 1. Right, so a lot of people have been using wood chips for just their paths, but I'm trying to put them on the beds as well to see what happens. So that would be the main point of interest of this channel and these videos over the course of the next year, to see how well things grow. I suppose what I should have done was cover half of the plot with wood chips and half without, and so I could compare the crops, but I only decided to start doing these vlogs afterwards. But we do have a sort of control for the broad beans, because I've got aquadulce here, and my neighbour Keith, he's got aquadulce broad beans here. He planted his in October, and they were, because we had like mild weather there, his were above ground in the within 3 weeks. I think he now needs to take this protective wiring off before his broad beans get too high. So we could compare our broad beans to Keith's, but his are bound to be better because he's been doing it longer, he knows what he's doing, and he uses compost and that. I did broad beans 2 years ago, and I noticed that sparrows were eating the black fly, so I didn't actually bother pinching out the tops. So I thought I'd rely upon the birds, but I think they got out overwhelmed. Now, one thing I'm thinking of doing is another hugelkultur bed, or as my hugelkultur mounds aren't actually a mound above ground, it's more in terms of burying wood underground. And this has been a concern of mine ever since I've had this plot, is to raise the level of the ground to stop it flooding so much. So when I first when I first had the plot 2 years ago, I started digging here, went all the way down there, across there, and up there, and I double dug it. Double digging's easy, really, because the second spade or fork, you don't actually remove the soil, you just put your fork there at a 90-degree angle, and you lever it up to loosen the soil. So the second part of it, double digging, is actually quite simple. So the problem was that when I came to the end, I had a great big gap, or hole rather. So I discovered about hugelkultur, filled that with logs, and then put soil on the top. The thing is, every time I did that, I'd just like move the hole from one place to another. So I went from there to there to there to there to there. So it looked like I was never making progress, but I was actually doing was raising the level of the ground. And the last one I did was in this corner here, because this corner gets flooding as well. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't do much work last year, because I had this great big bloody hole to fill in, and I don't know, I was just got a bit depressed or something. Now, me and Marina over there, she says I dug the hole too deep, but my view was that I need to dig the hole deep because the soil that's going on top is coming from the hole in the first place. So I need to have a deep hole in order to provide me with the soil to put on top. And also, my idea is that you put the wood into the waterlogged bit, so it can soak up that water. But Marina's view is that what happens instead is that all my nutrients will get washed away, Well, I don't think they will get washed away, because if everyone else has got clay at that level, there isn't really anywhere for the stuff to go, because you can't go downwards either. So it's like I've got a little sink there. Well, that's my view anyway. So I'm thinking of doing another hugelkultur here, because it's a bit low here, and also it gives me something to do over the winter, and it also means I could bury my Jerusalem artichoke stalks, because they'll take a while to